Among the tough questions at yesterday's big bank hearing on Capitol Hill, CEOs were grilled about climate change and the role their companies play in supporting the fossil fuel industry. Our next guest is a serial entrepreneur pushing investments with an environmentally friendly focus. Brahim Al-Husseini joins us now. So one of your investments is Aspiration, and that's actually a socially conscious and sustainable bank. So when you see these big bank CEOs being questioned about that on Capitol Hill, people saying that they're greenwashing it, why do you think it's important for a bank to have a sustainable and environmentally friendly outlook?
Well, thank you for your question. I think these days, consumers want the choice to invest and do business with brands that are aligned with their values. And having a bank out there that does not invest its deposits in fossil fuels or in the firearm industry or in the private banking industry, private prison industry, allows people to have a choice. Because right now, they don't until Aspiration came online.
So let's talk about some of your other investments here. Your new investment company is FullCycle.
Yes.
And you're trying to accelerate the deployment of climate restoring technologies. And one of them is, this is your first investment, Sunova turns solid waste from cities into energy. How does it work? Is it like our trash? Is it sewage? Like, what is it?
So it is trash, municipal solid waste or agricultural or commercial waste. They can turn any of that into a gas, and then it cleans the gas, and you can either turn that gas into other products, you can turn it into biofuels, or you can turn it into energy depending on what back end you put on the system. Most people don't realize what a big problem garbage is. We interact with a wrapper, and then we throw it away, but we live in a closed sphere, so there is no way. It just breaks down into methane, which is a very potent greenhouse gas, and it goes up into the atmosphere and contributes to global warming. And municipal solid waste is actually the third largest source of man-made methane emissions. And this technology not just solves for that, solves for it with economics that work as much for Jakarta and Mumbai and Cairo.
Because we keep hearing cities are getting rid of their recycling programs because China won't take their waste anymore. How can this actually work on an economic sense?
Oh, well, I mean, that's the nice thing about their technology is it makes commercial sense, and it allows us to be able to generate electricity or, like I said, biofuels at a cost point that anybody in the world can afford and can benefit from.
So I want to ask about the Green New Deal, which I've been writing about. This is, of course, a sweeping idea without specifics, but the general idea is put the government in charge of addressing climate change and global warming. Capitalists say, come on, let the private sector harness the private sector to do this more efficiently. Just in a couple of thoughts about your response to the approach of the Green New Deal.
Thank you. So I have two things to say about that. First of all, I represent the private sector. What we're trying to do at FullCycle is create the world's most efficient way to transition us from a high carbon to a low carbon economy. And the only way we're going to do that is by making it more profitable for an investor to invest in reversing the effects of climate change than from causing climate change. So that's what we believe. We also
How do you do that?
Well, you pick technologies that are market ready, that are also climate critical, and you create vehicles for people to invest in them such that their returns are attractive, and we don't have to get into ideological debates about them.
So is there a role for government in that, or is that something that is in fact happening in the private sector without a government push?
We would welcome a free market system, a level playing field. Right now, as you know, the real estate industry and the fossil fuel industry have special designations and don't exist in a free market system. They have special designations and special single layer taxation that other industries don't. So government can play a role by giving us an actual level playing field, and we can all compete on it and win because of the merits of our investments.
Can we talk about Tesla? Because I think a lot of people, when they think about an environmentally friendly company, maybe I should invest in Tesla. You have invested in Tesla.
Early on, yes.
Early on. So was that a decision based on that they are, having a zero emission vehicle, or is that a bet on Elon Musk? And are you still confident with Elon Musk and how he's running the company?
Have you ever driven a Tesla?
I have driven a Tesla.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, Rick Newman has reviewed them as well.
I have too, but they're not profitable though.
Well, it takes
Not yet.
time. It takes a minute. You know, and they're doing an excellent job. We're diversified out of Tesla, so there's no incentive to be promoting them. As a consumer, I love the product. You get behind the wheel of one of these things, and you never want to drive a combustion engine vehicle again. It's really that simple. And as more of them get on the road, and more people get to try them, whether they rent them or they borrow a friend's car, they will want one. It's really that simple. And as their price point gets lower and lower, they'll become accessible to more and more people. I think this is a very encouraging trend in the transportation industry, and I support it.
So do we in the media just get too obsessed with Elon Musk? And we're putting too much emphasis on how he's running this company and what kind of CEO he is and what he does on Twitter?
I mean, I can't comment about Elon Musk. I so appreciate everything that he's doing, and I love his precision and detail and all the little touches he puts into his technologies. You know, I think it's delightful. I was in a friend's Tesla the other day, and I didn't realize that they had a Christmas mode. You literally can turn the dashboard, you can turn the signal sound into jingle bells. I mean, who knew that?
Now there's like Atari
That
and all
probably
that.
costs
exactly.
fun
And that
stuff.
actually costs almost nothing. That's
Of
just
course.
an electronic setting.
And it's delightful.
Yeah, it's clever.
Yeah.
Brahim Al-Husseini, thank you so much for coming in and talking
Thank
to
you
us about
for
your
having
companies.
me.
Hope we can have you back.
Appreciate
To be
it.
continued.